Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have for our regional planes against the threat of improvised explosive devices. The first edition of the World Game Competition is Mixed Wars. For the international scene, Turkey threatens to block Sweden and Finland's accession. Welcome to our newsroom. President Gelle wishes success to his newly elected counterpart of the United Arab Emirates, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle, wished success and achievement to the newly elected President of the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency Mohammed bin Zayed. It is in a congratulatory telegram that the head of state expressed these wishes to Mr. Mohammed bin Zayed on Saturday following his election to the Supreme Magistracy of the sister nation of the United Arab Emirates. Your unanimous elections by the Supreme Councils of the Federation of the United Arab Emirates is an ultimate guarantee of political legitimacy. President Ismail Omar Gelle wrote in the message's address to Mr. Mohammed bin Zayed, I hope that your election to the head of the United Arab Emirates will be an additional dynamic to the accentuations of the widely accomplished work of its development and prosperity, noted the head of state. In the same document, aged 61, Mr. Mohammed bin Zayed was elected today to the Supreme Magistracy of the United Arab Emirates following the death yesterday, Friday, of the president of this brotherly countries, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who was buried on Saturday. Until his election today at the head of the United Arab Emirates, Mr. Mohammed bin Zayed was the crown prince of Abu Dhabi. The week of English in Djibouti was celebrated from 5 to 12 May 2022 in the various schools in the city. The closing ceremony took place at the People's Palace on Thursday and was attended by several personalities, including the Minister of National Education Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, and his colleague, the Minister of Communication, in charges of post telecommunication, Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Bahdon, distinguished guests, and dozens of students of middle and secondary educations have appreciated the cultural animations and skits prepared for the occasions, skits that emphasize the interests and value of the English languages in a globalized world where the languages of Shakespeare is the tool of communication for excellence, activities that have helped it to rekindle the flame of English and give it is a special importance in the ease of students.
Opened the other door, a woman came out especially for the person.
Think about others. That's why humanity is evolving backwards.
The Djiboutian Association of French Teachers, under the leadership of its president, Saada Ilmi, organized on Monday, May 9, 2022, the first edition of the World Game Contest, the World Scrambles. This Thursday, May 12th, was held at Fukuzawa College, the prize giving of the World Game Contest. This first edition is part of the effort to motivate students by cultivating the pleasure of learning in a different way by playing with words. This first edition opens the way to the new traditions of contest, the multiple one and word games in all its states mixed around with cute and guest. The event took place in the presence of the representative of the French Development Agency, senior MEFOP officials, and many parents of students, as well as the Association of French Teachers. This competition is intended to promote reading, but also and above all to reinforce the quality of teaching and learning by setting up a rich and diversified activity to arouse the interests of students and encourage them to read. Indeed, later games boost concentration and memory. The director of AFD in Djibouti, Mr. Stéphane Gallet, said he was happy to participate in the work with enthusiastic students. He reaffirmed the support of his organizations to the work of MENFOP for the reinforcement of the quality of teaching and learning. Under the auspices of the Secretary of State for Sports, Hassan Mohammed, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the Association for the Promotion and Development of Sports in the regions of Ali Sabih organized yesterday afternoon a volleyball and football tournament of former players at the high-level training centers of Ali Sabih. These matches were also attended by the prefect of the region, Musa Adan Migane, the president of the regional council, Sharmaki Hassan Allale. The final of the football tournament brought together the team of the sons of GNA and the youth volleyball teams from the city of Ali Sabih, and for football, the veteran teams of the city and the team of the Inter-Army Regiment of Tekhil faced each other in this match. In volleyball, the team of the sons of former soldiers of the GNA won the trophy with the scores of 2-0, and the first set of 16-14, the second set 15-12. And 11, the team of the veteran of Ali Sabih won the football final.
الودود تاشيو أكونتو ديمانيو كو إيماد ديليو نكن حمو دمان زين دلتيو إسبورتيكو واديري قلينو دشا waxay ka dhowrtaa balwadooda taashiyo aqoonto dhimaaniyo ku imaada dheeliyo dhaqan buurta calankan gocanahayay caseeylalu hayaa.
At the end, the winners and losers were called to the podium to receive their trophy, an initiative greatly appreciated by the former glories of volleyball. And as a joke, the atmosphere was to the joy of meeting memories, and there were many to respond to these initiatives of the associations, ASCA, moved by the atmosphere of jubilation that prevailed. The Secretary of State for Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, did not fail to thank and congratulate the organizers for the quality of work done. Intensification and sensitization of the vaccination campaign against COVID-19 in the interior region, a delegation led by the technical advisor of the Minister of Health and coordinator of COVID-19, Dr. Omar Mahmoud, accompanied by members of UNICEF, went yesterday morning to the region of Ali Sabih. The purpose of this trip by the delegation from the Ministry of Health was to meet with the regional authorities and key civil society actors for a consultation workshop in order to put in place a new strategy for revitalizing and relaunching COVID-19 vaccine awareness at the regional level. The workshop was attended by the prefect of the region, Musa Adan Migane, the president of the regional council, Sharmaki Hassan Allale, the member of parliament of the region, Honorable Abdosiki Yediriye, the acting director general of the regional hospital, Dr. Abraham, and the vice president of the regional council, Nuh Saeed Geldon. The authorities of the regions urged the participants who came to this workshop and the population of Ali Sabih to take advantage of these vaccines to protect themselves. The Kingdom of Morocco hosted in Marrakech on Wednesday, May 11, 2022, the ministerial meeting of the Global Coalitions Against Daesh at the joint invitations of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Nasser Bourita, and the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Our country participated in this high-level ministerial meeting. It was represented by His Excellency Mohammed Dour Hersi, Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Morocco, accompanied by the first Chancellor of the Embassy, Mr. Shehem Ibrahim Mohamed. The Global Coalition Against Daesh was established in September 2014 to fight the terrorist group Daesh in a multidisciplinary, inclusive, and holistic approach among countries and regional institutions that want to stem the expansionist aspirations of the terrorist group and dismantle its networks. The coalition is composed of 85 partner states and international organizations from different regions of the world. The work of this ministerial meeting of the Global Coalition Against Daesh in Marrakech was attended by representatives of more than 79 countries, and international organizations was attended by 47 ministers, including 38 heads of diplomacy residing in the Kingdom of Morocco and international organizations. The Kempinski Palace hosted the fourth meeting of the IGAD Security Sector Program Technical Committee on the development of a regional strategy to prevent, counter, and respond to the threat of improvised explosive device. On the 11th and 12th, this momentous event was attended by the Executive Secretary of IGAD, the Director of IGAD Security Sector Programs, Abebe Mouloune, and the representative of the member state, Mahboub Maalem, for this first meeting of the Regional Technical Committee on the development of a regional strategy to prevent, counter, and respond to the threat of improvised explosive device in the region. The purpose of the creating and implementing a strategy is to find lasting and sustainable solution to an evolving problem that has been ineffectively addressed by short-term training equipment.
Myself and my two colleagues, Dr. Whitney and Gregory, that we have been able to bring this discussion this far. So I thank Commander Beb and his team, Feliceta and Tesfai and Najat, who have worked with us up to now. Of course, the background was given by Commander Bebe. We have had so many consultations. We have been to countries, and in all these countries, we have looked at the collaboration that exists within agencies within the same country.
Now listen to the Executive Secretary of IGAD, Mr. Workne Gebeyew.
To the meeting in which we are gathered today. This is, of course, reviewing the data on IEDs on our region and around the world. I realize a number of insights, which I will invite you to appreciate with them. Overall, improvised explosive devices have become an increasingly serious and significant threat in our region, especially as they have become preferred weapon of choice for insurgent and terrorist organizations. When we are talking about explosive, about terrorism, we are really now not talking as we were talking 10 years before. That means this threat is not really eradicated, or we didn't abolish, we didn't successfully won upon this threat. This threat is there. But because of different challenges that our region is facing, different problems that we are at hand, sometimes very important issues like this one will be missed from our shelf and from our mind as well. But if something happened in our region, in our continent, or throughout the world. This kind of damage, which is assisted by this explosive, will be a big and very loud. So we should not be fighting against this kind of threat. As Abu was telling to you, I feel that I am back to the basics. My background is security. So most of the time, we should not be surprised by this kind of threats. As a policeman, our security or defense personnel, we are always on this duty, fighting day and night. But the people should not forget this threat. The politicians should not forget this threat that we are living with it. So you, and this meeting, of course, and kind of these meetings should remind all the community the damage, the threat, which may be caused by this kind of damage threat.
Our first driving school opens its door Otokol Far branch of Balbala, commune Hodan 2, PEC 12. The commune of Balbala hosted yesterday, Friday, May 13, 2022, the ceremony of the inauguration of the driving school Far branch Balbala. The president of the commune of Balbala, Mohammed Hassan Saeed, accompanied by local elected officials on his arrival, was welcomed on the site by the owners of the Otokol Far, Mr. Abdullah Habib Abdel Arif. Then the president of the Balbala municipality, alongside the owners of the driving school Far, proceeded to the inaugurations of the new driving school branch of Balbala, Hodan 2, PEC 12. The main objective of this driving school branch is to train safe drivers and to accompany them in the accountability of their actions. The opening of a local branch of learning to drive vehicles in the town of Balbala is beneficial. Now no need to move to the city centers, no more incessant back and forth, said the youth of this device. The Director General of this training center, driving Far, Abdullah Habib Arif, on his remarks made known that driving school Far is based in the file of training and driving category. For his part, the president of the municipality of Balbala, in his speech, Mr. Mohammed Hassan Saeed, in his speech, he thanked Abdullah Habib Abdel Arif to have show of use of the municipality of Balbala for opening a local branch of learning to drive vehicles. He stressed that this is a first in this town and that now the youth of the town of Balbala will move more to the city centers. He recalled that the municipality has a project for young people in the context of vocational integrations and the fight against unemployment, because it offers jobs opportunity in driving after obtaining a driving license. Yesterday took place in Reis Ali in the regions of Tajura the inaugurations of a new tourist site, the Lubatanle Resort, in the result of several years of hard work and the alliance of Djiboutians and French hotel developers. This Franco-Djiboutian between Lubaka Omar Mohamed and Miss Pia Hoffman von Valdo comes within the framework of, but especially in the promotions of ecological tourism while preserving and enhancing the environment for a sustainable development. The region of Lubatanle was known at the time for the trade of incense called Lubatan, which was exported from Tajura to the Middle East. Tajura White City has the most beautiful of our country, and it is to enhance and promote tourism in the regions that these large were injected into this project, Lubatanle Resource. is located in the hollow of the Bay of Rais Ali, and at the foot of Mabla Mountain, one discovers there the arts as well as the way of marrying the ornament and traditional habitat with the modernity while remaining in perfect with the environment by preserving it. The hotel was inaugurated by the prefect of Tajarrah, Hassan Dabale Ahmed, the president of the regional council, Omar Hussein, and also present the prefect of Obok, Abdul Malik Muhammad Banoita, who have all congratulated the promoters for their audacious and innovative project. Did not fail to recall that Lubatanle village resource will strengthen the tourist capacity of the regions and also play important in the Mr. Lubaka Muhammad Umar Muhammad said that this project is the result of several years of hard work, but especially of walls of reflections. Our final objective was not just a building to accommodate guests and tourists.
I look forward to working with this beautiful resort together with my diving company and doing packages and attracting people to visit this place. So thank you very much for inviting me to this excellent event.
During the day of May 14, 2022, the Djiboutian Coast Guard has implemented large-scale operations of raids and sweeps in the mangrove located along the corridor of the road to Venice behind the Bawadi Mall. The main objective of this operation was to get rid of individuals who have taken up residence in these mangroves and who constitute a risk for the security and tranquility of the public space. Thus, it is a total of 5 individuals who were arrested in the framework of these operations of raid and sweeps, as well as 2 large bags of drug and significant numbers of weapons, cutter, machete, purse, pen, knives, scissors, and 1 laptop. This operation is part of the wider framework of measures taken by the Djiboutian Coast Guard to ensure the security and safety of port facilities and their nearby corridor. For the international scene, NATO, Turkey threatened to block Sweden and Finland's membership. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan expressed on Friday his hostility to the accessions of Finland and Sweden to NATO at the risks of blocking the whole process, which requires the unanimity of the members of Atlantic Alliance. Erdogan has also criticized Stockholm and Helsinki for serving as hostels for PKK terrorists, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, classified as a terrorist organization by Turkey, but also the European Union and United States. This statement casts a pall over a process supported until now by most NATO members and by the Alliance Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, who said he was ready to welcome them with open arms. Once a third country has decided to join, NATO members must unanimously agree to invite it to join. Sweden and Finland simultaneously indicated their willingness to continue discussing the situations with Turkey at the weekend meetings of NATO foreign ministers in Berlin. After decades out of the military alliance, Helsinki and Stockholm, both non-aligned, are ready to formally announce their candidacy for NATO, direct consequences of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Sunflower cultivation is more profitable back in fashion. The war in Ukraine is pushing sunflower prices to record levels with Russia and Ukraine among the largest producers. It is in this context that some farmers in the rest of Europe are returning to this crop, now much more profitable. This is the case of Regis Bonnet, farmers in the Les Essarts en Bocage in the Vendée. We made the decisions in March, especially unfortunately with the war in Ukraine and the explosions in sunflower prices. I grew sunflowers 20-25 years ago. We stopped growing it because of pest species, because we had to resow. It was a problem with prices at 3 and 350 euro. It was a crop that was not very profitable, so it was better to grow corn, wheat, and rapeseed, and we left it a bit aside. If the crisis continue, other farmers may follow suit. It could allow them to reap a handsome profit while resupplying the local market. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.